So the UFC fight night, Gaziev vs Rozenstruik card, wrapped up a couple hours ago, but I had to go rewatch some fights because I wasn't awake for the whole card. Uh, but yeah, anyway, let's start with the first fight of the night, which was Abdul Karim Al Salawadi versus Loic Radzhabov. There we go, nailed it. Weird performance. This was really weird. This is just showing what a curse Dana White Contender Series has been for the last season winners. Abdul Al Sawadi was looking decent in this fight. He was getting some takedowns. It was looking like he was taken over as well in the third round. Like he did get hurt in one of the rounds. He also hurt Loic, but he sort of like held him up. It would have probably been a knockdown because it looked like he was like falling flat in his face, but he didn't ended up breaking Loic's fall. And it was looking like El Sawadi was looking like the fresher man. He had got dropped before, got hurt. They didn't register the knockdown, but he was hurt badly. And then just in the third round, the commentary, they're like, yeah, it's looking like El Sawadi's the fresher guy here. He's looking good. He's looking good. Next minute, he just gets caught right on the fucking ear, gets dropped. It looks like he went out cold. And then he gets fucking about 15, 20 hammer fists on the ground, fucking out cold, brutal fucking hammer fist as he's limp. So yeah, Abdul Karim Al Sawadi, I picked on Dana White Contender Series, I picked George Hardwick because I said El Sawadi doesn't have the greatest chin. Because if you look at his record, got KO'd in the first round by Aziz Joudan, got KO'd with a spinning back elbow by Leon Santanigo. He got KO'd by Demore Roa with a knee, and now he's just got right hook to ground strikes. Fucking about 15, 20 unanswered shots. So it's really weird. He beat George Hardwick, but that's just the Dana White Contender Series curse. People who lose on Dana White Contender Series seem to do better than some of the winners. It's fucking weird how it works out. But, good performance by Loic. He gets the win here, and I guess we see what's next for him. Then we had Ludovic Klein versus AJ Cunningham. This was just a one-sided beating. And this is what we all expected it to be. AJ Cunningham, I don't even know if you can really say he's UFC level. But if he is, this was like a step way too fast for him to fight Ludovic Klein. Better than Stephen Nugent, who he lost to on Dana White Contender Series. Better than anybody AJ Cunningham's ever fought. There was no way he was going to win this fight. And Ludovic Klein showed that. He went in there, beat the absolute shit out of him, made it look easy. And yeah, Ludovic Klein knocks him out. 29 years old, I think he's on like a 4-5 winning streak now. Ludovic Klein has beat AJ Cunningham, Bahamondes beat Mason Jones, Devontae Smith went to a draw with Jai Herbert, but he's on a good run at the moment. He hasn't lost for 5 fights, so that's pretty good. It was looking like he was about to get cut at one point, but here he is, Ludovic Klein on a good run. Then we had Christian Leroy Duncan versus Claudio Ribeiro. Christian Leroy Duncan just fucking put on a masterclass in this fight. Just beat the absolute shit out of Ribeiro. Wasn't close at all. Ribeiro only landed 4 significant strikes, and this is what we've been wanting to see from Christian Leroy Duncan. I think he's a legitimate good fighter. I know he lost to Amos Petrosian, but that's in the fucking past. That's in the past. He is good. He is a good fighter, Christian Leroy Duncan, and he's shown it. Look at the performances he's put on. Now, I know Dennis Tulin and Claudio Ribeiro, not the greatest fighters at all, but, he's beating them like they're meant to be beat. He beat Ribeiro easier than Roman Kopylov. Kopylov was actually getting hurt by him. Leroy Duncan actually went in there and made Ribeiro look like he doesn't belong in the UFC, which he probably doesn't, but still, good performance by Christian Leroy Duncan. Then we had Ayman Zahabi versus Javad Basharat. This was an interesting one. I said that this is probably going to be like a tit-for-tat sort of fight where it can sort of go either way, and I was right. Now, I did pick Javad Basharat to win this, so I guess technically I was wrong because I did pick Zahabi, but it was a good performance by Zahabi. I thought he won. I think he won the second and third round. I don't think it's a crazy take to have, which is really fucking weird looking at it. He lost to Vince Morales and Ricardo Ramos. And now You know, he's on the run of his fucking life. That's the sport we watch, guys. That's just the fucking sport we watch. But yeah, he's on a good run, man. Like, Draco Rodriguez KO, beat Ricky Tercios, beat Ariong Liang by brutal KO, just beat Javid Bashra. Like, he's on a 4-fight winning streak. Like, he's a very tricky fighter. You know, he's very skilled. He reminds me a bit of Trey Ogden. As in, like, he's just sort of like a veteran, a very savvy veteran who can sort of, like, figure out ways to, like, fights where, like, you don't damage him, he's not getting hurt in there. And he's looking good. He's looking really good. He's honestly, you could probably give him a ranked opponent at this point. 4-fight winning streak, you know, I wouldn't be opposed to him getting a ranked opponent. Maybe another fight would probably make sense, but maybe him versus Marcus McGee, when he gets a ranked opponent, maybe that makes sense. Because, like, what? You could do Zahabi versus Ricky Simone. I wouldn't be upset with that fight. But I guess we'll see what happens. Good performance, though, by Zahabi. Not the greatest fight, but good performance. Vinicius Oliveira for Bernardo Sapai. Sapai looked really good on this fight. In this fight, I was like thinking, damn, this guy. I picked him. I did pick Bernardo Sapai, and I'm thinking, damn, I'm feeling like a genius here. He's looking really good. He was wrestling him. He was looking good on top, landing a lot of ground and pound. It looked like he was like seconds away from getting a TKO finish due to ground and pound. Like, he was just landing shot after shot, and it was like, maybe if he throws a few more shots, they will stop it, but the referee just didn't stop it. He let Vinicius Oliveira take a bit of a beating, and I guess it worked out for Oliveira because Oliveira did come back. Bernardo Sapai did gas out, and that third round was looking like a 10-8, and then boom, flying knee from Vinicius Oliveira, KOs Bernardo Sapai. Hell of a performance, hell of a KO. I don't really rate Vinicius Oliveira too highly, though. I'm going to say that. I don't think this guy's going to be a champion or anything like that. I know it starts to sound like a buzzkill right here. I'm just saying I don't really see championship level with Vinicius Oliveira, but I guess we're going to see what happens in the future. Then we have Eric Anders versus Jamie Pickett. Jamie Pickett gets a fucking knockdown in the first round, and I'm thinking, shit, this guy's gonna fucking win. And then just stops. He stops fighting after that. Eric Anders just dominates him. Not a good performance by Eric Anders. He won, but, like, it's Jamie Pickett. How are you making it that close with Jamie Pickett? Like, really, how is Jamie Pickett dropping you? But yeah, Jamie Pickett ends up winning. Not winning, ends up losing, retiring. And yeah, that's it. Eric Anders wins. Then we had Matt Schnell versus Steve Erceg. Now, this was a really good performance. Now, Steve Erceg won the first round clearly, looked very slick. I've been saying it, and I know Matt Schnell doesn't have the greatest chin, but I've been saying it for ages. Steve Erceg has a very deceptive power. Deceptive power. The guy fucking hits hard. I know he doesn't look like a guy who would hit hard, but he's very precise, very straight with his punches. He's got good boxing. Good grappling. The guy's just very well rounded, and like I say, it's very fucking precise and very fucking good power. And Steve Erceg goes in there, KOs Matt Schnell with a brutal left hook right on the chin, knocks him out cold. Steve Erceg called out Brendan Moreno. I wouldn't mind that fight. Steve Erceg wants to go up that division real quick. He had a plan to get a title shot within 4 fights. He could get a title shot if he beats Moreno in impressive fashion. I guess we'll see what happens, but yeah, fucking great performance by Steve Erceg. Then we had Umar Nurmagomedov versus Beksat Almakhan. Almakhan immediately knocked down Umar Nurmagomedov in the first round and then gets taken down, and that's the fucking fight pretty much. Umar Nurmagomedov just holds him down, beats him up on the ground. There's not really anything interesting that happened. It was just Umar, sort of just laying on top of him. He was landing strikes, of course. He was hurting him and everything, but, like, it wasn't really a crazy good fight by any means. But it showed that Umar Nurmagomedov can deal with adversity. Got knocked down and dominated the rest of the fight. Got 2 10-8s, got a 30-25 on 2 of the judges' scorecards, I believe. So, yeah, great performance. Then we had Alex Perez versus Muhammad Makayev. Another, not like an amazing fight. Muhammad Makayev, every time he got hit, I was thinking like, fuck, is he about to get knocked down? Because he would drop down for takedowns where it would look like he had been dropped every single fucking time. He's got to stop doing that. That's not a good visual. Because I was thinking, shit, man, is this cunt fucking rocked? Now, I don't think that was the case. I think he was completely fine. But the way he was fucking jumping down after getting hit every round was fucking weird. I thought Mikhaev won this. I thought he won the second and third, but it wasn't not a stellar performance by any means. He gets the win, but like, I don't know, man. Like, he's got to lose eventually. Like, he's got to. I don't think he beats Pantoja. I don't know. I don't think he fucking beats all of these guys. He's probably going to get Pantoja in Brazil. And if that's the case, I don't think he's going to win. I just don't think he's that good. Like, he's good. Don't get me wrong. He is very good. He's a good grappler, but his striking's not very good. And he's very one-dimensional. I think Pantoja might knock him out, to be honest. His striking was very sus in there. He's a good fighter, don't get me wrong. He's tough. But I just think he's very one-dimensional. You can't really beat... I mean, it's fucking working for him. So what do I fucking know, to be honest? But yeah, I'm going to... Mikhaev wins. He gets it done. And I guess we'll see how him versus Pantoja goes in Brazil. Then we had Vitor Petrino versus Tyson Pedro. I picked Petrino here. And I was correct. It was a really shit fight. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. This fight fucking sucked, man. Like, it was a low output fight from both of them. It seemed like Petrino was probably throwing the harder shots. It didn't seem like Tyson Pedro wanted to engage too much. He didn't want to go take any of the big power shots from Petrino, which obviously makes sense. Petrino is a big fucking powerful, scary Brazilian. But yeah, not a great fight by any means. Not by any means at all. And at the end of it, yeah, there we go. Vitor Petrino wins, and Tyson Pedro retires. So, respect to Tyson Pedro. He had some good wins in his career. He beat Paul Craig, beat Khalil Roundtree, and there was a few fights where he almost won it, but he made a few big mistakes. He almost beat OSP, but he made a big mistake in that fight. But, like, hey, respect to him. He was in the UFC. That's more than most mixed martial artists can say. And he, like I say, he beat Khalil Roundtree and Paul Craig. So they're good wins on your record. See, like the UFC fucking hated him, though, because they only ever gave him one performance bonus when all of his wins were by finish. So that's a really weird stat to give you guys. But yeah, respect to Tyson Pedro. I feel like we're probably going to see Tyson Pedro box in the Australian, like, fucking rugby scene, because a lot of rugby players box MMA fighters, so that's probably going to be someone we see in a few years' time. But, respect to Tyson Pedro, and good performance by Vitor Petrino. Give him a ranked opponent at this point. And then the main event, we had the fucking main event. Jairzinho Rozenstruik versus Shamil Gaziev. Rozenstruik beat the shit out of him. He beat the fuck out of him. There was just nothing Gaziev could do. He was just gassed. He was so tired. He was just fucking so gassed out. Like, the guy's morbidly obese. He's just not he's just not in great shape, right? His cardio's not very good. He needs to cut down a lot of weight, but then they'll probably take away from him being a good heavyweight, or winning at heavyweight. So I don't even know what you do with Gaziev. Probably wasn't a smart idea to throw this guy right into main events, though, when he was only beating Martin Buday. I found that very stupid. I thought that was a very stupid thing to do. And here it is. It paid off. It didn't pay off because he just went in there and got smoked for 4 rounds by Jairzinho Rozenstruik. But yeah, good performance by Rozenstruik. We'll see what happens for Rozenstruik next. I want to see him versus Derek Lewis. But yeah. That's pretty much it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts on the card, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace. Cheers.